Ha! Irony of ironies. I forgot to say good kitten internet. Sorry about that. Hope you're having a good kitten. Fun fact, this is the second time that I've recorded this because apparently I missed a profile on OBS to actually record the microphone. Whoops. Yeah, it's kind of late at night and I need to do other things, so I'm going to be doing a quick vlog tonight. Sorry about that. Not been doing all that well this past weekend, and I needed the time to relax. I ended up playing Baba Is You, which, by the way, if you ever want your grammar to be completely broken for the next week, excellent game, highly recommended. It's a puzzler game where you're making sentences that are effectively working as code for the game itself. You're redefining the rules of the game as you play. It's a fascinating game, by the way, and it'll run on a potato. Anyway, Baba Is You is not what I was wanting to talk about. This vlog topic is about the one that I forgot a few days ago. So I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that as of this month, I have officially lived in Wisconsin longer than I've lived in Florida, and it didn't feel right. And the reason why it didn't feel right is actually pretty simple. It's because your memory is an interesting thing. Let me explain. What I mean is that time is a very strange thing for your memory. It effectively keeps track of time by what percentage of your life that you remember is time. So for an example, let's say that you are 5 years old and you are told, you know what, next year you're going to get that totally awesome thing. That's 6 months from now, but, you know, next year you'll get it. To a 5-year-old, that seems forever. And it sort of is. That's 10% of their life. You're asking them to wait an additional 10% of their entire life. The equivalent at the age of 50, on the other hand, would be waiting 5 years. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense when you think about it that way. And what I've done is I've made a little chart right over there. This chart is just from the ages of 1 to 50, what your effective memory of that age is. So for instance, when you are a year of age, it's effectively like your memory is taken on 20 years worth of information. When you're 20 years of age, it's effectively 1 year. The formula for reference is 20 divided by the age. This is effectively a formula that's just keeping track of the percentage of your lifespan that this particular year has taken. And this doesn't count the fact that COVID's been going on forever, and also it's only been going on for a week. But you get the idea. This is generally the way people's memories seem to work. Certainly one of them. And this is part of the reason why it's so strange for my brain to admit that I've been living in Wisconsin longer than Florida at this point. To extrapolate that, let me expand things a little bit. So this column is just the length of time that I have lived in Florida. And any year that I was a majority of the year living in Florida, I added to the Florida column. Any year that I didn't, I put it as a 0. And I did the same thing for Indiana and Wisconsin. And let me shrink this a little bit and add the totals. And you know what? Yeah, I'll just leave it like that for now. If I was smart, I would actually move this window over. So I'm actually looking in the same direction as you all. Anyway, you get the idea that... Oh, I thought I shrank this where you could see the totals. Apparently not. While I've lived in Wisconsin for 14 years, and Florida for a little bit under 14 years, just look at the totals. To my memory, I've lived in Florida for 52 years, Indiana for 6.5 roughly, and Wisconsin for 8.75 years. of my roughly 85 years of memory span lifespan and roughly 39 years of actual life. This doesn't quite tell the full story, though, because I don't know about you. I don't remember when I was 1. In fact, I actually have a grand total of 2 memories of Florida back when I was living there during these years. And, I mean, this isn't just me forgetting, just like everybody does, forgetting their childhood memories over time. I was asked at the age of 8, when I turned 8, for reference, these numbers are like, this is the year from 8 to 9, this is the year from 7 to 8, this is the year from 0 to 1, and so on. But when I had turned 8, and moved back to Florida, I was asked if I had any memories of my uncle. My uncle had an accident where a jack slipped and he was crushed and was deprived of oxygen for a lengthy enough period of time where it caused brain damage. And he was never the same, and we'll just leave it at that. But I was asked if I had any memories of him from before the accident. He had this accident, for reference, I would have been 4 at the time, I believe. So, did I have any memories of my uncle? And the answer was yes. I actually had 1 memory of my uncle. It was draining the waterbed that we had. My uncle put me in charge of making sure that the hose didn't leave. So I was going to stand there and look at the hose the entire time, which my mom got a kick out of, because apparently my uncle was terrible with kids and had no idea what the hell to do with me, even though he had a kid of his own by that point. But that's literally my only memory of him, and that was my memory of him back when I was 8. That's one of 2 memories that I have of Florida back then. So I made another column with just counting starting at year 10 and going on from there. So once more, year 11 is the total of memories from year 10 to year 11, and so on. And these numbers seem a little bit more realistic to me. In fact, I'm just going to hide Florida right now. Base Florida doesn't exist anymore. These memories, these figures way down here that I'm going to expand so people can actually see it, like that. That's what my memory tells me, is how long I've lived in each place. I don't feel like I've quite lived in Wisconsin as long as Florida. And I bet if I lived in Wisconsin for another 6 years, it would actually feel that way. I think it's 6 years. Let me double check really fast. So let's see. I would need to live there for 2.5 more years. Yeah, I would need to be 45. Weird. OBS is weird in how it handles those. Anyway, so yeah, I would need to be 45 in order to have as lengthy of a life. Sorry, give me a moment. To feel like I have lived in Wisconsin as long as I lived in Florida. And that's not going to happen, because this is going to be the last year that I'll be living in Wisconsin, hopefully. So, yeah. I just wanted to mention that because, you know, it was braincrack. It's what I thought of at random 3 a.m. of just memory is a very strange thing, and the way it seems to operate is on a percentage of lifespan. I'll put in the details down below a link to a visualization of basically this exact same concept. And that's it. I'll talk to you later, Internet. Bye. Of course, I didn't forget about the obligatory cat tax. Yes, and Sun's the one currently out, so that's the kitty that you get. I had wanted to do more this weekend when it came to the video, so apologies if all you got was random brain crack that I had at 3 a.m. one night. That's okay. It's my vlog. I do what I want. And you get kitties. I know who the real star of the show is. Bye, Internet.